Greetings, Vox family. My name is Levi. I'm the Director of Youth and Adult Discipleship here at Vox, even though these days it's virtual Vox. I'm still getting used to that, but that's all right. Hey, I just wanted to continue in this little series that we're doing called Fruits of the Spirit. This series is about how do we continue to grow and cultivate these spiritual gifts, these spiritual fruits, as it's written in Galatians that it's called, in the midst of a somewhat crazy time. Growing fruits and vegetables and anything requires good soil. And our normal state in America is to have good soil because we have a great church here at Vox. But as we're meeting virtually and social distancing from one another, we want to continue to talk about how do we grow these spiritual gifts when we're in soil that isn't as conducive as our normal soil is. We've already talked about self-control and love and joy, and so today I want to spend a couple minutes just talking about peace. Peace is a primary calling for us as Christians. We are called as Christians to be a people of peace and to be a people at peace. And as things continue to get more and more confusing and hectic and crazy and possibly even chaotic in our lives, how do we continue to live out this calling of a people at and of peace? Well, I just want to go over a couple ideas with you today. I remember several summers ago, many years ago at this point, I was on the custodial staff for a large church. And one of my jobs was each morning I would get a ladder and go up on the roof and spray for hornets. Because if you didn't know this, I did not know this at the time, the hornet is actually a really lazy bee. The busy bee, it does not apply to them. They won't come out in the morning, so you had to get them first thing in the morning, or you'd have these bees flying around that would sting you, obviously, for trying to get rid of their nest. And so, one of the things our boss would always tell us is you have to go up there so that way you can be working in action, not reaction. And I think that's so wise for us today. To be at peace means that we're going to spend intentional time slowing down, choosing our steps intentionally, and being a people of action, not reaction. Whenever we become reactionary, we're not thinking clearly. We're not guiding our steps as intentionally as when we are just simply living out action. So to be at peace during the somewhat chaotic time, I'm going to encourage us to do several things. The first is simply to slow down. Slow down. Just be in your body. Be aware of your surroundings. Choose to be intentional in your words and actions with those around you. The second is to find things that help you slow down. Find hobbies. Just because we are social distancing from one another doesn't mean that we have to social distance from ourselves and the things that we enjoy. I encourage you, as we're home more, especially around our families and loved ones, be intentional about being with them. Be at peace with them. For me, that was going out before this all started and stocking up on some home painting and some comic books. Which that's something for me that helps me be at peace, to slow down and read, to slow down and partake in my hobbies. I also would encourage you, many summers ago, me and my friend were both dealing with some difficulties in our lives, and the normal things that brought us peace weren't bringing us peace. And so we began to brainstorm about what should we do if the normal hobbies aren't really cutting it for us anymore. And what we did is we came up with a list of our current hobbies, and we exchanged them with one another. And the things that we would do for peace, our friend would do. And so we traded them. And it not only helped remind us why we liked doing the things that we did, but it also added to our repertoire of things that we could continue to do. And it's some things that have helped me to this day, of things that I wouldn't have thought of to do that actually brought me a lot of peace. For him, he loved going out and shooting hoops and just playing basketball, even if no one was around. And as an indoor kid, I did not like that. But I went out and did it a couple times, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I encourage you to be intentional about relationships and finding peace with one another by asking those that you are in social distancing with, or perhaps people that you're missing, what's something that you would do to be at peace? How can I do what you would do to help me find new ways to be at peace with myself and those around me? So I encourage you this week, do things that help you slow down and be a people of peace and be a people at peace.